Hello, welcome to this Colombian Spanish grammar video about the pronouns Sumercé and vos. In many countries, the English second person singular pronoun you has two equivalents, tú, which is informal, and usted, which is formal. There are four subject pronouns for the second person singular in Colombian Spanish for the English pronoun you. Tú, vos, su merced, usted. Some key cities to remember are Medellin, Bogota, and Cali. Busted. According to the DRAE, which is the RAE, the use of busted is also present in Colombia. It would be conjugated like usted. But in this video, I'm going to talk about su merced and vos. According to the Bogota government website, su merced is a colloquial word used in the speech of people from the countryside in the central region of the country, notably Boyacá and Cundinamarca, to address others in daily conversation instead of using usted. It is also used in the capital Bogota in certain environments. Su merced is sometimes written separate, su merced, but is always pronounced together, and the D is lost in speech, like in usted. This is because the origin of the word is from the construction vuestra merced, your grace. Over time, it morphed into usted, which is what is used today all around the Spanish-speaking world. The word for your changed from the second person plural, vuestra, to singular third person, su. So it changed from your grace to her, his grace. The connection with the word usted is seen in verb conjugation, object pronouns, and possessives. Even though you would address two different people as su merced, in the plural, one would just use ustedes. Su merced is conjugated like and uses the object pronouns of usted. Su merced me dijo que venía a las 3. Usted me dijo que venía a las 3. You told me you were coming at 3. A su merced le gusta el chocolate, ¿no es cierto? A usted le gusta el chocolate, ¿no es cierto? You like chocolate, right? Positions in a sentence. When it's the subject, it's su merced. Su merced va a ir también. The direct object is la and lo, like usted, and the indirect object is le, also like usted. So you would say, when referring to someone and addressing them as su merced, la lo vi, la lo quiero, le doy. The emphatic pronoun would be su merced. So after prepositions, you would use su merced. Esto es para su merced. Gracias a su merced. Detrás de su merced. Con su merced. Possessives. Su merced uses the same possessives as usted, which would be su, sus, suyo, suyas, suyos, and suyas. For example, su merced donde quiere que le ponga sus cosas. Mire, esto es para su merced. Es suyo. Se lo pongo aquí encima. Su merced is not used in official settings like the government, publicity, or schools like vos, tú, and ustedon. It's used in a more close environment, like between family members and with people you would want to show more admiration, respect to. An example would be children to their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc. Its use might be diminishing in some families, with newer generations opting to use other pronouns. This depends on the region, so some people might use it outside of the family.
Separa los residuos ordinarios y entrega el material aprovechable a un reciclador. Saca tus residuos en recipientes adecuados. Pone la caneca o recipiente con residuos frente a tu andén. Gracias a vos, Medellín es más limpia.
As you can see and hear in the video, the Voseo in Medellin is so expanded and accepted that it's used in publicities. These are the examples in the video that you can see it in. Vos is the only pronoun whose verb conjugation differs depending on region. So in cities like Cali or Medellin, you conjugate vos like Central America and Buenos Aires. But in Nariño, you would conjugate it like tú. In contrast with Rio Platense Spanish, which is that spoken in Buenos Aires, in Cali and Medellin, the conjugations also include the present subjunctive and negative imperative, like in Central America. Here's some examples. Tenés mucho afán, no me mintas, no hace falta que vengas. No me hagas llorar. Andate, déjame en paz. There's different conjugations for the past indicative, past simple. Venistes, vinistes, vinites. This depends on the speaker and the region. The first one comes from the voz reverencial. It comes from an older conjugation that doesn't exist anymore, which is vos venistes, which later turns into vos venistes. The last one comes in the tuteo form, which would be vos viniste. In Ladino, Judeo-Español, Jewish Spanish, their past simple tuteo is formed the same way as the third example, vinites. Some other Ladino examples would be hicites, dixites, quijites, fuetes. Some speakers of the Antioquia region use the Voseo future tense, while others use the tuteo future tense. For example, vos verés, vos irás con tu amigo, instead of vos verás, vos irás con tu amigo. This depends heavily on the region and the speaker. Positions in a sentence. As a subject, it's vos. Vos vas a ir también. The direct object is te, as well as the indirect object, which is also te. So it would be te vi, te quiero, te doy. The emphatic pronoun is vos. So after prepositions, it would be vos. Esto es para vos. Gracias a vos. Detrás de vos. Con vos. The possessives are identical to the tu form. So they are tú, tus, tuyo, tuya. For example, vos dónde quieres que te ponga tus cosas? Mira, esto es para vos. Es tuyo. Te lo pongo aquí encima. Here's a chart of the conjugations in Colombia. Tu is always going to be conjugated as tu, like in the books. Vos has different conjugations depending on the region and the speaker. So for example, tenés, tienes, tenís, venís, vienes, venís, trabajas, trabajas, trabajas. It's not a mix and match, it's systematic, so each line represents how someone would conjugate it in their region. And the last line, usted and Sumercé, is the same. So it would be tiene, viene, trabaja. Ustedeo. According to the RAE dictionary, this means the action of using usted to address a person. In almost every Spanish-speaking country, the use of usted is reserved to show courtesy, respect, and distancing oneself from the listener in terms of status. This is not the case in certain regions of Colombia, such as Bogota, for example. The use of usted often serves the function of what tú and vos do in other regions of the country. It breaks the norm of how many other speakers use it. This is often mistaken for these speakers to be overly respectful because they ignore this nuance. So it's very common to hear older people address children with usted being used to address pets, between siblings, and couples. They don't do this in other countries, as usted is used for the elderly or to create the opposite effect of separating yourself respectfully from the addressee. There are a lot of nuances for how people address each other in Colombian Spanish. Using one pronoun might soften the tone of a sentence or what is being said. Some pronouns are used by men to address women, and others are used amongst couples only because of the intimacy involved. Here's some examples. Mira tu café como a vos te gusta. Tómeselo ahora antes de que se enfríe. Here's your coffee, just as you like it. Drink it before it gets cold. I see, contame. Later. ¿Le puedo ofrecer algo? Oh yeah, tell me. Later. Can I get you anything? The blue is the vos and the purple is the usted. The usted is used to soften the demands or to soften the sentence a little bit when you're speaking to them later on. Colombia is a big country with many varieties of Spanish. Sumercé is very specific to a certain region of Colombia. And even though vos is used in many countries in Latin America, it's usually left out of textbooks that teach foreigners how to speak Spanish. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any comments or if you want to contribute to what's said in the video, please do so in the comment section below. Thank you, gracias, suscríbete al canal, chao.